myself. I don't want to hear myself. Excuse me. So I also need some music. I definitely need some music. My throat is dry and sore, as usual. It's permanently dry and sore. Frustrating, to say the least. So, am I in the center of the camera? If I lean forward to draw, what is that in the corner there? Ah, crazy. Hey, exclaim. I just saw your message in there now. I'm doing good, how about you? Some music to play in the background, so excuse me if I take long to see your message. Big breakthrough, realizing I've never allowed myself to confess to someone and be totally vulnerable. Your voice is too soft compared to the music. Oh dear. I did try and put the volume up. Adjusting music volume. Oh, I want to send you a song quickly. I'll send you a link to a song. It's a cool song. I think you'll appreciate it. You probably know it. Enjoy. So who was it that you were completely and totally vulnerable with? And let me see here, what am I doing with this piece? Oh, no one yet. You just realize it. You've never done it. I see. So what I'm doing is adding more depth to the hair. Okay. Snap, that pillow is far away. Let me see if I can tilt the chair and reach it. Yes, I got it. I got it. Okay. Too much white noise on the guitar? Oh, don't like the song. It grows on you when you look past the experimental shits. It's definitely up there, one of my favorites. That song specifically, I don't like anything else by that band, to be honest. Too much noise on the guitar, just like you said. I don't know, do you play electric guitar? Exclaim? You're picky. Do you play guitar, by the way? Okay, you do, so yeah. Yeah, if I'm not playing properly, then my guitaring will sound like that. You know, if I'm using hacks instead of actually playing. Like, instead of playing full chords, I'm just tuning the strings. Tuning each string individually to match what I want to play. Then it sounds shit like that. Too much noise and interference and no clarity in the sound of the guitar. Not well, but I do. Okay. Good to hear. I'm sure that your guitaring is better than you're claiming. I'm sure. Example. Is this you? Oh, it is you. That sound is fantastic though, like the quality of your guitar. How do you get it to sound so clear? Are you playing it directly into your machine? Or are you playing it through an amp and recording the amp? But you are fantastic. You don't give yourself enough credit. Okay, so it's into a PreSonus noise card, which is directly into your computer. Okay, nice. And then does that come with software that has overdrive on the amp, like overdrive settings for your guitar, or do you have to, or is that on the soundboard, on the sound card itself? I'm just curious, you know, because I remember I had to do all kinds of backdoor workarounds to get the overdrive effect onto my guitar. Okay, it comes with software. Nice. Milton, welcome. What's a crack-a-lackin'? I'm about to start shading the hair on this piece here. We're listening to Exclaim's music. I don't know if you can see the link in the chat. We're listening to Exclaim play guitar, and he's fucking fantastic. Doesn't give himself enough credit. No need to share. The software I use is called Cakewalk. Okay, Cakewalk. Okay, I'm gonna keep that in my mind. I'll remember that name. You love doing rhythm guitar, not so much solos. Okay. I like them equally, but you know, actually doing the work, I don't like that so much. You know, the practice it takes to get that solo lead, to get it perfect. I'm not such a fan of that practice. You'll check the music out after the stream if you remember. You won't remember, but the thought is nice anyway. Here's the funniest part of any drawing, in my opinion. However, it depends what you're doing. Huh? What is the funniest part of a drawing? That sentence is incomplete, Milton. I didn't check out your channel yet. Sorry about that. I've had a lot of other things to deal with, to be honest. A lot of weird shit. A lot of intense shit. So I guess I kind of feel the same way as you in that regard, Exclaim. It's like I have never really like confessed everything to any single person. Like this person knows more than that person, and that person knows some things, but like the entirety of me hasn't really been confessed to anyone. Not yet, anyway. Oh, funnest, you're half asleep. Like, shading the hair is the funnest part of a drawing. Okay. You found the right person to confess to, you just need to check your red flags. Okay. And it's gonna be so hard to do, no doubt. No doubt. Are you an artist, Milton? Do you draw regularly? Please feel free to share some of your work so we can like post it on screen and admire it and fall in love with it and blow kisses at it. Maybe wank off to it later in private. Yeah, I know, you've said it enough times that I know what your channel's about, and I'm still curious to check it out, and I will get there in time. You've already checked the red flags. Oh, you just needed to check the red flags, and you have. Okay. What red flags did you see? Ah, I see that this video you've uploaded, Exclaim, is unlisted, so I feel privileged. I'm one of the very few people that has a link to that video. I must check the mirror. There's like hairs all over my eyelashes and they're like sticking me in the eye. Little fine threads from this bloody jersey that I'm wearing. Oh, that's so much better. It was absolute torture. Now it's gone. Excuse me for all that noise. Noisy, noisy, noisy. That's the next thing that I need to get. Actually, it's not the next thing I need to get. The next thing I need to get is another camera, a better camera than this one. No, the next thing I need to get is a laptop, a better laptop than this one. No, the next thing I need to get is a graphics drawing tab. I need all of these things, but a chair. A chair is very important. You talked me into it. I'm gonna go get to work on my picture I've been drawing for the last week. Fantastic! Fantastic. Please join us in our co-creation. The capacity of destroying and the condition that would make her destroy someone. Oh. And also the choice not to destroy people. Okay, that's very vague, admittedly, but I think I understand the frequency you're suggesting. And you're sure that this is the right person to confess to? Because I wouldn't. I wouldn't confess to someone with that kind of capacity. Like, if I've witnessed that someone can do that to someone else, like, it's a difficult situation. Like, I don't know if someone has that capability, you know, someone has the capacity to destroy someone else verbally and their reputation. But if I had to witness them do something that let me know they had that capacity, then I would never fucking trust them. Never. Not in my life would I trust them. Yes, you can. You do feel like they are the right person. You also have this capacity. We're kind of alike about that. We have the capacity to do it, but we choose not to do it because we're more on the building side than on the destroying side. Okay. Fair. I was only, when I gave my 2 cents, it's only for the sake of reflection. It's only to add like an extra, another window to look through, another lens. Like, the reason I wouldn't trust someone with that kind of capacity is because I recognize it in myself, and I would not trust me. So that's why. But you can trust you, so that's a different story. Okay. I don't care what people say, B6 pencil is the best drawing medium, just the best. Plus several tarot readers gave me the same direction about committing to that person and sharing it. Okay, so you got confirmation from multiple sources. And then addressing Milton's statement, I have no doubt. I have no doubt that the B6 pencil is the best. What is this one here? This is just 180 HB. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like different styles require different mediums. Depending on what you're trying to accomplish in your art, you need to try out different mediums. Including me, okay. Interesting. I think I know who we're talking about now. I like dark black and white cartoonish stuff with the really dark to subtle shading. Nice. Me too. Exclaim 2 says, yes you do. I'm trying to think of some way to sexualize it, but I can't. And also, Milton, please feel free to share your art piece at any time. I am just dying to see it. Just dying. I might seem sarcastic and disinterested, but on the inside I'm exploding with excitement and anticipation. And I know last security I've built is that she has seen my potential as a friend, so if she tries to destroy this friendship, she knows what she would be missing out on, because I'm a very reliable person. If you want something sexualized, put fox. Is on at nearly ruined the character of during the responses. What? What? Yeah, it would be unwise to destroy a relationship with someone who is reliable, because reliable people are very hard to come by, as you would probably know. It's not an easy thing to be a reliable individual. And you seek nothing more than a friendship, to be clear. I feel her like a sister. You feel her like you feel your sister. Excuse me. I get you though. I get you. I just had to take that opportunity. But are you sure about that? You know, things can change. I'm getting touchy. Excuse me. Sorry about that. No problem, Mr. Monstrous Tip. I think at this point you are inserting yourself into the depths, exclaim. Autocorrect and speech to text are having a seizure. Lol, sorry about that. Yeah, that one didn't really make much sense. Although I think you're talking about, you know, just if you want to sexualize something, bring up Megan Fox and it'll completely demolish her character or something like that. Just completely demolish Megan Fox's character and you will automatically be sexualizing the conversation, the topic, something like that. Very profound conversation we have here.
Very profound indeed.
But if you don't mind me saying, exclaim, the future of your relationship with this person you're about to confess to looks very romantic and intimate. Right now, and for the near future, it's friendly, but it doesn't stay friendly forever. Profound and deep are translated into the same word in French. The French word for profound is the same as deep. Okay, interesting. Oh yeah, you know, that reminds me, I've got some questions of my own that I wanted answers to. So I guess I'll finish with this here, and then I'll take my first break, and I'll do some tarot readings for myself. I'm actually taking much longer with this hair than I intended. I didn't mean to spend this much time here with this hair. I guess it doesn't really matter. So I never actually finished this piece, as you guys can see. I posted it just like this into the competition, but I didn't put any background in, though I had planned to put background in. I entered it into the competition just like that. I still plan to finish it though. I want to have like the waning moon here, the waning crescent, just on like a cloudy background. But I was running out of time, and I couldn't wait any longer, so I uploaded it just like that. It's impossible to finish a picture. I normally get the face done and then get bored. Shame. Once I'm finished with the face, that's when I actually start getting into the piece. Like the drawing of the features, and that takes a lot of focus and energy, and I'm almost glad to do the mindless shading stuff like I'm doing right now. Xname says, I don't care what it'll bring, I'm just looking at the situation step by step. Amazing, that's how to do it, you know? That's exactly how to do it. Here, right now, step by step, 1 foot at a time. That's the best way. That's the only way. As I say, it's like I'm meeting someone from a previous life. Okay. Interesting. It's always a cool experience. When you meet someone, it's like, hey, I feel like I've known you for a long ass time, although I've never met you before. It's a cool experience. And then I like get to know them, it's almost like catching up. It's getting cold in here. I'm gonna have to replace my brazier soon. By the way, I'm really enjoying you guys' company and the chats we're having. Milton and Xflame. Thanks, guys. You're welcome. That's how you sexualize something. Yeah, well, you know, I'm actually using my words and my voice, so it's not so easy to make the difference. To let you know the difference between come and come. You know, they sound identical. Are you running a fever? You're enjoying my company? Lol, thanks for the compliment. Yeah, I must be. I must be high as fuck. Are you such terrible company, Milton? Maybe you go out of your way to make yourself miserable company. Well, you're gonna have to try harder, buddy. Because at this point, your company is smoking. So what are you guys up to? I know Milton is busy drawing. What you up to, Exclaim? What is this Wednesday morning, afternoon, evening got in store for you? Correcting exams. Ish. Are your students doing better than you expected, or are they failing? It's 4 p.m. here. I think it's about the same time here. That's right, exactly 1 minute past 4. Less than what I've expected. Okay. That's unfortunate. How does it make you feel being their teacher? How can you do better than your best, Milton? How can you do better than your best? Just be mindful, because you know when you try and do more than what you're capable of, you end up going backwards. You don't really care. It's just the way it is, and it's because of the COVID. They lose the habit of studying. I see. Yikes. You're a hardcore teacher, Exclaim. Fucking hardcore. As core as hard as core. It's like 203 a.m. in New Zealand. I know what you mean. It's 3 minutes past 2 in the morning in New Zealand. So you haven't gone to sleep yet, I reckon, Milton. Or did you just wake up? I just mean that I would hope that my teacher cares a bit more about my mark and my performance in his class. I would also hope that he's able to see himself and, you know, recognize where he could have done better to help me get better marks. Because I know as a student I'd be doing the absolute best that I could with the materials that are being provided to me by my teacher. You're right, if I tried too hard I might start being polite. Should terrible land pirate fox people have long tails, really long tails, or really, really long tails? I'm thinking the longer tails are the best for the long tails. I don't know, you tell me, what do you think? Do you think the long tails should be longer? Because they are long tails after all. I understand what you mean, and I have some students that try their best, and for them I'll do the same. But those I'm working with right now are just pretentious and think they are kings of the world. Each time I've tried to do something for them, they didn't care or acted like it was nothing, so I don't care in return. I see. I get you. No judgment. Again, I was just bouncing, you know? Bouncing my reflection. And I totally get what you mean, you know, these teenagers are full of shit and they're like arrogant and disrespectful. And you think you do something nice for them and offer them a helping hand and they fucking bite the hand. Yep. And laugh about it. Yep, I know. I know how they are. In general, I'm working like a mirror. Not all of them, but some of them. I see. Well, the tails are going to be long either way. I just can't decide between 4 foot long, 5 foot long, or 6 foot long. In comparison to the character, she's probably 5'5". Well, then I'm going to go ahead and be the devil's advocate and say it should be 3 foot. The tail should be 3 foot since the character is 5'5". Is this a drawing of Megan Fox with her legs spread wide open and her hair wrapping her up instead of clothes? Because that would be fucking cool. Milton says, I was a perfect teenager. When I wasn't getting into fights, biting people, and eating junk food in class, I had the best grades at the prep school I boarded at. Good for you. That's why fox is a sexualizing word. Bingo. Yeah, I didn't get it until we started talking about long tails. Then I got it. I need to ease up. I'm making the shadows too dark. Fuck. And you know what happens if I make the shadows too dark? It means I have to go and make all the other ones darker, and it makes double work, and that's just not cool. I don't ask them to be perfect, I ask them to be aware of their surroundings. Bingo. Or maybe it's a furry sexualization. That would be even funnier if it's a furry version of Megan Fox. With the game's rules, if it's 3 foot, I can't technically use it. It's another hand. But I think 4 foot is acceptable. Why would you impose game rules like that on yourself? Milton, why would you tell yourself if the hair is shorter than 4 feet, I can't wank with my right hand, I have to use my left hand? That's a ridiculous rule. Because that means that, like, with every drawing, most drawings on the internet and most porn, you're going to be using your left hand because they have hair that's shorter than 4 foot. You're literally shooting yourself in the foot with that game rule. Excuse me if I'm yelling too loudly. I can't help it sometimes. I get too excited. I wish I could draw like that. Megan Fox and clothes made out of her own hair. The problem is, I wouldn't want to find out what my wife would do with that. Like, she would come to my house to steal it. To steal it so that she could hang it on her wall and stare at it while she's masturbating, or what? Steal it so she can burn it? The best sex joke I ever heard. The best sex joke we've ever heard. On screen right now, guys. Tune in to QIR97 to hear the best sex joke you've ever heard. Ha ha ha. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. Ah, it's not your rule, Milton. It's the rule of the Dungeon Master. Allows for customizing characters. I see. Not to sound like a total deviant, but depending on how long somebody's hair is, depends which hand you wank with. That sounds like an actual funny challenge. Yeah, I think so too. But it's no fun if the challenge is you alone. You know, you gotta be wanking with a bunch of mates before it's funny and interesting. I hope I didn't miss anything important. I just realized I was behind in the chat. In fast forward, my wife has a folder of her pictures. I never want to find out what they are. So you think your Megan Fox furry video, your Megan Fox furry drawing is gonna go into that folder? Interesting. I'm imagining her like trying to blackmail you into something, threatening to burn your Megan Fox furry drawing. Like all of her pictures in that folder are her like dirt on her ex-husbands and lovers and whatever. Celebrities that she has seen in compromising positions, basically. Yeah, I hope you didn't miss anything important too. I also hope so. I wish I could release this tension I feel, because now I'm realizing what it's about. It has started to move and I'm getting more efficient because I'm getting more energy. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. The last couple of days I've been feeling a fuck ton of tension and like no way to really express it or release it. Very frustrating. If you want to know something creepy, it would actually be pictures of how I looked when I was about 17. As the first reference drawing, you could tell back then I was mixed gendered and I was an attractive teenager. So why would that be creepy and weird? Why would it be oh, you mean she's like wanking off to you? Oh my god, she's wanking off to the teenage version of you because you were more androgynous back then. That is weird and creepy. But kind of cool at the same time. It's not someone else. It's not someone else's teenage photo. It's yours. So it's kind of cool. D. Graham Hario, welcome. And that would be the first time anyone has chatted with us from LinkedIn. Thank you so much for the compliment on the drawing. And welcome, by the way. So this is a drawing of streamer Yellow Daisies. You can find her on the Unconventional Couple stream on Twitch, or you can find her on her own channels as Yellow Daisy, spelled like in the title. Oh, I don't want her to find this picture attractive. It's just meant to be a cool fox person, so it's not Megan Fox. That's unfortunate. Goddamn speech to text. I said you couldn't tell that I was mixed gendered. Mr. Word, I was a solid 5 out of 10. Most people say more than that. Okay. DGam says, I'm an artist living in Yogyakarta City. Good, nice days to you. Good to meet you. Come visit my city. Maybe one day I will. I'm an artist living in the middle of nowhere in Eden, Republic of South Africa. Sorry about the dogs in the background. They're rude. Jock, you're rude. Go away. Go away, you're rude. Exclaim says, dog barking sensing danger? No, he's just rude. He barks at everything. Milton says, seriously man, I wish I could draw as good as you. Hey man, it just takes practice and time. It takes practice and time. Not to brag or anything, but I am a fucking master artist. And I sit here deceitfully saying, oh yeah, just time and practice guys, just time and practice. The truth is, this is just pure raw talent. I never touched a pen and paper before in my life. What are you talking about? No, seriously, this is 2 years of practice. This is 2 years of just consistently drawing. And every time I try and draw something and I'm like, hey, I can't actually draw this, then I go and I copy what I'm trying to draw, find pictures, copy it a couple times, and then go back to my drawing. And every time that I do that, my skill and abilities evolve. Constantly pushing myself, trying to draw something that's outside of my skill range so that I have to evolve in order to accomplish it. That's basically the trick. Like even these portraits, these are the best portraits I've ever drawn in my life, and this is just marks the next stage of my evolution. I'm a part-time laborer that mostly makes money off of fighting with my regent, living in a small town called Reefton in New Zealand. Okay. I used to draw when I was a part-time laborer. I was actually a full-time laborer, and I would sit in my lunch breaks. You know, we get hour one lunch breaks, and I would sit and I would draw on my little sketch pad in those hour lunch breaks. So it would take me about a week to do an art piece, you know, working on it 1 hour a day during lunch. So Exclaim, that dog is just rude. He's traumatized because when he was a puppy there were people breaking into the house, and he woke up and he chased them out, so now he thinks every little sound he has to bark at. It doesn't matter what it is, he has to bark at it. My other dog, like he's not my dog, that's my brother's dog, and he's just here because he's been kicked out of his house. They're busy cleaning and he got kicked out, so he came here. And my dog Jackie doesn't bark for nonsense. He doesn't bark at anything. Yeah, when he's alone and he's bored, he'll bark at random nonsense. But I mean, like if he's in the house and he keeps his mouth. If he's walking with you, he keeps his mouth. He'll just sneak up on and attack the thing that's dangerous without making a single amount of sound until he's on top of the threat. Talking about dogs, I've seen many Dachshunds, sausage dogs, and I don't really know what it means. I wouldn't know either, to be honest. I wouldn't know what that means. Okay, it's not as cliche as saying, oh, really bad at drawing and then doing a masterpiece, but saying you never touched the pencil before in your life, that's like a one-up on the understated artist. Yeah, but I will always be modest and understate. Always. Like, you ask me, can you play guitar? I'll tell you, no, not the fuck can I play guitar. I can make some sound with it, some nice sound. But I've seen O's who can play guitar for real, and I'm not one of them, so, you know. Like, I've seen artists who are way, way fucking better than me, so I'm not gonna say that I'm a fantastic artist. I'm gonna just say that I can draw, you know? I can draw things that I can see in my head, but it never looks the way I see it in my head. There you go, Exclaim agrees. He's like also says he's modest. But Exclaim, from what I just saw, you're probably better than me on the guitar. And I'm better than you on the drawing. Oh well, that's terrible. You better catch up, Exclaim. You better catch up with that drawing skill. Does that mess with your head as well? Drink things you see in your head, but it's never the same. Doesn't matter if it's better or worse, it's just weirdly never the same. It messes with my head, man. No, it doesn't mess with my head. I've just kind of accepted it for what it is. I've let go of the expectation. So, you know, if I do better than I thought I would, if it looks closer to what I see in my head, then I get excited and I'm like, yeah, damn. But if it's not, then I'm just like, oh well, you know, I didn't expect anything better or less, so it is what it is. Are you familiar with the Big Les show? That fucking hilarious, man. It's mostly impressive because it's like done unprofessionally. It's done with very basic tech. It's not the best of stories. It'll give you a good belly laugh every now and then. But it's not exactly the best content, but the fact that it's just, that this creator just went ahead and did it, despite the fact that his technology was so limited, despite the fact that it wasn't going to be the best, he just went ahead and did it and stayed consistent with it. That is just beautiful, and I love it for that reason. It's very inspiring. I got to that stage where I need to take a break before I run it, but I'm doing pretty good with my picture. Fantastic. I'm glad you feel that way. I'm glad that you are impressing yourself with this piece, because I know there are some pieces that just don't impress me. I'm like, why the fuck did I even bother drawing that? Ooh. Excuse me. Here it comes. Okay, I think it's about time for me to go and change out my brazier, my bowl of coals, because it's getting fucking cold in here, and take a piss and probably change the music track and probably also eat something. As local El Taco used to be the one who reminded me to eat, I've got to remind myself to eat now. Because I don't know, I expressed my opinion, and as we know, opinions are highly useless. I expressed my opinion to local El Taco, and I feel like he kind of got scared or intimidated or angry or triggered or something, because I've never seen him since that day, unfortunately. But just watch, now that I'm talking about him, he's going to show up in the chat. I've always found that drawings, no matter how technically good they are, if you don't like it, other people aren't going to like it. There's a weird likability factor to them. I don't know about that, hey? I don't know about that. I find that the pieces that I have not liked, the pieces of mine that I'm like, ugh, I don't like that one, other people love it. And I found it's been the same with other artists. I'll be like, oh my god, that piece is so amazing. And they'll be like, thanks, but I don't agree. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's been like that in your experience, but in my experience, it's been in the reverse. If I like a piece, it usually doesn't get that much attention. If I am feeling ashamed of that piece, then it gets a lot of attention. So, yeah, I'm gonna go quickly. See you guys in a sec. Bye, Exclaim. Thanks for hanging out with us while you did. Here's a meal for you. 9 gag. Let's have a look at that. The sandwich. Well done to whoever managed to get that to balance like that. I've got my sandwich here. Oh, you can already see it on camera. I was gonna pick it up and hold it here, but you can see it there. And yeah, put the volume of my music down because I can hear it. I can hear it very loudly. Sometimes it's overwhelming, you know, sensory overwhelm. And play it. And then I'm gonna do a reading for myself because I need to do that still. Okay. I was hoping you had missed me, baby. But yes, I missed you so much. I couldn't wait to get back on stream because I was missing Milton so much. The Insane Witch King means so much to me. I'm throwing my 10 of Wands on the floor. Okay, so I've got this opportunity, 2 of Wands. I got this opportunity that's presented itself on the horizon, and I kind of feel like it's probably to do with one of my manifestations, but I also am not so sure. So I want to just get a bigger picture of the energetics that are going on here. Okay. Okay. Oh, look, there's the 2 of Wands again. And a 5 of Wands. Lots of Wands here. And the Universe in reverse. Jesus. Okay. That makes sense. Chariot in reverse. Ah, okay. That's like basically the answer to my question. And art. That's fantastic. Sounds familiar. Future. Hanged Man in reverse. Fuck that Hanged Man in reverse. Fuck you, Hanged Man in reverse. You just keep on showing up in the future again and again and again. I don't want any more Hanged Mans, thank you. I don't want to be crucified anymore. I'm done with that. Please, oh Father, if there is another way, let this cup be passed from me. Oh, you missed me so much you were leaping for joy. Your soul was leaping from your body in anticipation of my arrival. Hectic. So 2 of Wands is talking about the opportunity. Opportunities in the present. That can help me manifest my desires. It's kind of saying that I've already reached out for it, and I've been committing to it for a while already. It's not a new opportunity, it's opportunities that I've already been reaching for. And the 5 of Wands crossing that is saying that I have been doing the best that I can, you know, step by step, moving towards that outcome. So that's interesting. The Universe in reverse there is telling me that I'm still allowing certain aspects of my shadow to rule my universe. Like anything that I can visualize, I can create, but then there are still aspects of like my procrastination and laziness that come up and that keep me away from my visions. Like I see it. This is what my present looks like. I know what I have to do in order to make the present look the way I'm seeing it in my mind, but then I take action and then I get distracted, or I get lazy, or I get bored, and I stop walking, or I stop making the correspondence. And I get that. It makes sense. I see what it's talking about specifically. The Chariot in reverse here is basically saying that I've already made my decision. You know, I've already made decisions on where I'm going, where my chariot is headed to, and I can stop. I don't have to be in this place of contemplation looking at all the possibilities. I've already chosen my outcome, so I should stick to that. This is saying that like my indecisiveness is affecting the opportunities I have in the present. It's affecting my universe, my, like, I don't know what to say, the universe, that whole frequency. It's affecting that. It is contributing to my laziness and procrastination. It is affecting my ability to take steps on the road in front of me, you know, to put one foot in front of the other. So I need to, like, acknowledge that I've already made my decision and I don't need to change direction. Past interval, co-creation, art, temperance, balance, you know, that's just talking about having worked together with other people in my life, having done really well in that. Partner, sister, friends and family. I've been co-creating with them, working together with them on projects, and it's working out well. It's been working out well. It's already gone full circle. Future is Hanged Man, having to deliberately face difficulties, having to like face things that I'm not comfortable with in order to make breakthroughs regarding this opportunity that's in the present. So not this new one that's come up on the horizon, the ones I've already been committing to. I don't like it. I don't like hanging myself. Like you said, last time you hung yourself, you woke up lying down on the beach in an unbelievably disturbing set of circumstance. Haven't tried it again since. So I keep doing it regularly, and it's like I don't get much of a choice. Universe keeps throwing crucifixions at me. And saying that during this challenge, I'm not going to be able to just endure through it. That's not going to be an option. I'm going to have to find a creative solution, or otherwise it's not going to come to an end. There's going to be discomfort, there's going to be suffering, and it's not just going to go away. You know, I can't just knuckle down and be like, I must just endure until the sun rises. It's not going to be like that. The sun will not rise unless I lasso it and pull it up. That's basically what it's saying. So I guess I just wait now in anticipation of that challenge when it presents itself. Just gotta wait until it presents itself. But all in all, this is saying to me that I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to change direction. In fact, I should not change direction. When the universe keeps throwing shit, I just realize it's life. Well, isn't that the same fucking thing? Isn't the universe... When I say the universe, I'm also talking about life at large, you know, just circumstances of existence, chaos. I'm not talking about some greater consciousness or whatever. I'm just saying, you know, as a result, it's just like a byproduct of existence, of the process of life and death. It's just like a side effect of that process. But I'm still tired of it, you know? It doesn't change the fact that I'm bored of being hung. I don't want to be hung again, thanks. I'm tired of it now. Fucking tired of it. All things present opportunities. You just gotta take the ones that work out for you. Okay. I would change the wording a little bit and say, in every moment there are endless possibilities, and you've got to choose the ones that are aligned with your vision of your future. What you like, things that are aligned with what you're creating. But I guess it's the same, you're saying the same thing with different words. But that reading wasn't telling me that. That reading was telling me that I've already chosen certain opportunities. And, you know, to choose this new one, to seize a new one, would be to let go of the ones I've already been investing in, and that's foolishness. Upside down or right way up, the hangman has a unique point of view. Maybe if you look at the right way you can see it though. Okay, I agree. Yeah, I agree. The hangman always comes with like a realization and a breakthrough. The process of arriving at that new perspective, arriving at that breakthrough is still uncomfortable, and that's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of having to hang myself upside down, you know? Like, sure, when you're upside down you see the world differently, but I'm tired of having to do that, to actually do that. And yeah. Like, we know that the hangman is based on Odin as well as Jesus, and Odin hung himself in the world tree so that he could come up with the runes, because they were having, you know, there was like this insurmountable obstacle of, I don't really know what it was, but he needed a solution to it. It was an issue with the mortal world. And communication, you know, communication was the solution, but he had to hang himself upside down from the world tree for how many days? I don't even know. But for a long ass fucking time before we came up with that solution. And that it was uncomfortable and painful to be hanging upside down for that period of time. So yes, being hung upside down did provide him with the new perspective he needed, but it was still shit to be hanging upside down. When the hangman is upside down, he's just tied down. For the moment, he's already in the uncomfortable place. Okay, sure. That card was presenting itself on the horizon though. It was not in my present. It was something that's still to come. Something that's just opening up. Something that's busy happening but hasn't fully realized yet. So, yeah. So yeah, I just interpret it in that the obstacle is still going to present itself. The obstacle which I have to hang myself upside down in order to see clearly is still to present itself. But that is also an interesting perspective you give there with saying just being tied down for the moment. So basically, if I have to take that into consideration, it's like I'm going to be tied down with this uncomfortable thing. I'm not going to be able to really do anything about it. So that's an interesting take. And then I would combine that with my interpretation, which is that I'm not going to be able to get out of it just by waiting. I'm going to have to come up with some kind of creative solution to get out of that tied down position. I can't just wait for it to end. I have to, you know, meet my endurance with creativity in equal measure. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. Are you reading from your handbook or something? Googling it and giving me information from the internet? Just keep in mind my method of reading tarot cards is storytelling, and I love story cards. It means something different to everyone there. It means something different, and like I don't think it's like dependent on how you read cards. Every card is going to mean something different to different people, and depending on which symbols you see first, you know, like there are so many symbols in every card, you can tell a different story based on what order those symbols come up for you. I found some of what you had to say interesting. You gave me new perspective, just like the hangman is supposed to do. Yeah, so I do appreciate it. How's your drawing coming along there, Milton? I think basically the point I was trying to make is that if anybody's claiming that the tarot cards have one specific meaning, they're talking a load of shit out of their ass, and you should pay no attention to them. If they be like, this is what the tarot card means and that is that, and it can't mean anything else, and you're like, oh, shame, poor fella doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Story cards use the cards to tell a story. What the person makes of it is whatever lesson they need. That's why everybody gets something different from it. I like playing twisted cards. Is twisted cards a specific type of tarot? Or is it like a game of storytelling using the cards to tell a twisted story? Because that would be fucked up. That would be super fucked up. That would be the opposite of fortune telling. That would be misfortune telling. And that would be fucked up. Twisted card is normally playing after story cards. You pick from the cards that were used or the deck, put the cards between your hands, twist it, pull out the one that stands out. Okay, so it's not actually twisted cards, it's literally twisted cards. I see. I see. It's not that fucked up. disappointing. I was hoping it was more fucked up. Anyway. Ba-da-ba-dum. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. This music started to make my ears bleed. If you want to get fucked up when you're playing story cards, you can tell a good story or a bad story. You can have people freaking out for weeks over something good that's going to happen. Yeah, that's what I meant. You know, that's what I thought you meant by twisted cards. I thought it was like twisting the meanings and your interpretation of the card in order to create like some kind of really fucked up story. That's what I thought Twisted Card was about, and yeah, I was kind of disappointed to hear that that's not what Twisted Card was. I had an idea for the background of this card and now I've forgotten. Oh yes, it was cloth. I was putting cloth, like material, folds and creases of material in the background. That was the idea. Sorry, I wasn't taught card games to screw with people from Master Lawrence apart from forcing a few cards, but that's just to get information. Yeah, no, I wouldn't personally ever do that. I was just hoping, you know, I was hoping that you were twisted enough to do that. I was like, I don't know, when you watch a horror, the more fucked up they can get, the more entertaining it is. It's like, yeah, okay, it's worth watching. And it's funny, it's like, okay, I laugh, like, nice one. Most people are a bit nervous to put that on screen, but you went ahead and did it, kudos. So that was kind of the vibe. When you were talking about Twisted Card, I was getting like excited, like, oh shit, this guy is prepared to go that length, but then you were like, no, that's not Twisted Card. I'm glad to hear that, but also kind of disappointed that it's not. Hey Sindel, long time. Nice to hear from you again. I'm doing good. Doing good. I hope the same applies to you. I just did a tarot reading for myself and it was about the Hanged Man, and I was like, I don't look forward to being hung again. I've been hung so many times, so not looking forward to the Hanged Man in my future. But other than that, I'm good. How about you? That's a really fun thing. The really fun thing is when you start using somebody's eye to spray into them, mix it with a little bit of cold reading, you can reveal all their darkest secrets. Sure, I don't find that fun. I'm not a sadist. I don't enjoy, like, when I lay out a spread, I can see all the shit, whether it's positive or negative. I read what I think is going to be important for them to hear. I keep the rest to myself. Yeah, I don't think it's I don't find it fun to torment people that way. Personally. Maybe once upon a time I was sick enough to enjoy that kind of thing, but not anymore. I've healed. I'm no longer a sadist and a sociopath. There might have been a time where I would take pleasure in using voodoo, making a voodoo doll of someone who irritated me and boil them in a pot of oil. I would have taken pleasure in that, but not anymore. Excuse me. I have had a few people tell me I couldn't get any information out of them. Long story short, it's their fault for agreeing to the contract. I told them they didn't want to go there. Yeah, no, it's not their fault. You could have still not done it even if they agreed to it. Because you knew that you would be able to succeed. They challenged you. You didn't have to accept the challenge. You would know that that challenge is going to hurt them, and you choose not to hurt them. Well, anyway, my spirit calls me out on bullshit like that. And I can't try and convince myself that person, it was their fault. Spirit says, no, motherfucker, you're the one who chose to do it. You're the one who had the ability. They didn't have the ability. You had it. You knew the truth. They didn't. You went for it anyway, so you're actually to blame. But we all do silly things when we're young, and we find that we can do things and people challenge us. We've all been there. We've all been young. Don't worry, I make sure it's a listen when I mess with people now, and I don't take it too far anymore. It was fun when I used to do it as a kid though. Yeah, like I was saying, we've all been young. No judgment. The only judgment I have is like righteous judgment. And when I say righteous judgment, I mean I can observe that behavior and reflect it against myself and my own experience, not condemn you for it. So then I guess I should say, the only judgment I have is for the sake of self-reflection and personal growth. I don't judge to condemn. I judge in order to make myself more graceful and more precise. Don't know how much you know about the Kabbalah, but you know grace and judgment go on the opposite ends. I don't remember their Hebrew names, but they're here, at like the center of the tree of life. Every judgment you make is towards yourself, not towards others, and it's only there in order to make yourself more precise in your progress thereafter, graceful in the next step that you take. Every judgment is only to make your next step more graceful. Judging every past step only to improve the next one. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know, close to 80 years old, something like that. I forget, I lose track, because you know, I didn't spend all of my years in this timeline. I've been to other timelines and spent long periods of time there. I don't remember a listen and reading people's eyes I gave to a person last year. They wanted to watch how I did that over the Skype call. Let's just say they were humbled, but it worked out well. Nice. Yeah, I haven't managed to master that yet. Reading the reflection of someone's eyes, I haven't mastered that yet. It takes me too long to form a connection. It's not really viable. I can do it if I spend like an hour gazing into your eyes, but that's not really viable to spend that amount of time in the real world. So practice is in order. I forget how old I am at the moment. I feel like the only difference between the old and the young is that we do less unnecessary things the older we get. like X-Lame was saying the other day, we make less wasted moves. You know, because we're not trying to figure out the game anymore. We're actually trying to play. Even if we don't have the game fully figured out, we don't make moves to figure it out. We make moves to accomplish an end. Like a lot of occultists are still fucking around to find out. We already found out. I'm pretty sure this is one of those moments where I'm not allowed to die, so I can't be too old at the moment. Well, aren't you lucky? I get to die regularly and then I just find myself waking up in a new timeline. Maybe I'm responsible for that. Maybe I've been jumping. Every time I'm like on my deathbed, I just jump. Like the OA, if you watch the OA, something like that. Not quite like that, but something like that. On that note, what I've discovered is that as long as every possibility is happening, none of it becomes your present. You have to choose the one that you're going to make into your present. You've got to choose it, observe it, live it up here, and it becomes your present. If you're scattered across all the different timelines, none of them will become your reality. None of them will become where you are, like you. So fear is nasty in that way, because fear will have you observing all kinds of nasty realities where all kinds of nasty shit is happening. Paranoia will take you to some real dark fucking places, and your focus, your choice to observe those realities collapses it into your present. But the physics, you know, as they say, every quantum particle exists everywhere at all times until it is observed. Then it collapses into the present. And that's exactly how it works, to be honest. Whatever you're observing up here becomes your reality. And then the amount of emotion that you attach to that visual decides how likely it is to collapse. I'm just the entirety of moments, man, that I'm a prison in. Okay. If it floats your boat, bro. How's your drawing coming though? Your fox person. I'm still having a break from it. I'm going to have a look at it when I wake up tomorrow. There's a few things I'm not sure about that fresh eyes are for. That's what fresh eyes are for. When anything stagnates in life, you know, if you've got a project you're working on and you feel like you can't make progress and you feel like you need to shut it down, before you do, you know, seeking a new pair of eyes, fresh pair of eyes, fresh pair of hands, that can usually get the ball rolling again. Excuse me, I've like gotten into hyper focus mode. So like I'm running multiple threads in my brain. Thinking about what you said, thinking about the card reading I gave myself, thinking about other stuff, personal stuff, friendships, stuff that's going on in people's lives and whatnot. All at the same time. Whoop! chili flake on my tongue. It's burning. I just find things work out when they work out, when they are supposed to work out, because that's how it's always been. Huh? I'm not gonna argue with you, buddy. But I don't really understand the context of that statement. Like, why'd that come up? What are we talking about? Some people get themselves trapped in a cycle. They start a project, they work on it for a while, things are not going their way, they cancel it. They lose everything, all the time and energy they've invested into, and they repeat the cycle again and again and again, and they never get anywhere with their lives. So the kind of advice is say, hey, next time, before you just scrap what you've been working on, bring a fresh pair of eyes into it. It's a little bit of advice to help someone in that kind of position break through past cycles, self-sabotaging cycles. But maybe, you know, maybe they are never going to change. Maybe they're going to continue that cycle forever because that's the way it's been and that's how it's going to be, and nothing was ever going to change it. Chaos. Doesn't mean I shouldn't have hope, right? Doesn't mean I shouldn't try. I need it elsewhere at the moment. Cool. Does that mean you're bouncing out? Cheers. Thanks for sticking around. Or are you saying your mind is elsewhere at the moment? Okay, I know what this thing is now. Like for the life of me, I didn't know what this thing was that came over the shoulder, but now I know. It is a water bottle holder. Lol. In this drawing, Yellow Daisy is not wearing any clothes except a water bottle holder. Like, I didn't know what the fuck it was when I was looking at the reference picture. You can't really see that she's naked, but there aren't any clothes except for this one little strap. One little strap over one shoulder. I was like, oh, is it a bra strap? Is it a what is it? And now I realize, because around about that time, M was making these bottle strap holders and selling them. So it makes sense that that Daesies is busy wearing one of those. That's what the strap is. Deductive reasoning. Sherlock Holmes for the win. I'm still struggling to see like the point of Twitter. Like, why the fuck does Twitter exist? There's no point to Twitter. Why do people use Twitter? God alone knows. Yeah, there's a certain type of crowd that uses Twitter, but I can't for the life of me figure out why they choose to use Twitter. I guess there was no better option at the time. And they didn't know how to use the other platforms because that's the one they were exposed to. I don't know. Still doesn't make any sense. Still don't know why Twitter fucking exists. The way that people use Twitter is just so fucking counterintuitive. Like spaces instead of live streams? Why? What the fuck? They just gotta be otherwise, just gotta be different. Sorry, I'll stop smashing Twitter now. But I'm hoping that someone can give me a reasonable answer, you know, like give me a reasonable explanation of why Twitter is what it is and why it exists and why people use it and why people love it so much. Like, don't tell me it's because they have an issue with Mark Zuckerberg's like business model. But I've already thought of that. It still doesn't make sense why Twitter exists. It should have been something else that was created in the place of Facebook. There are so many other things that were created in the place of Facebook. Why did Twitter work and the others not? Why did people vote for Twitter, basically? Why did people vote for Twitter? Like, why did people vote for Trump in the first place, kind of vibe? Why? Okay, he looked like a good option at the time, I guess. He looked like the better option. Like, everyone was a sycophant and a lunatic in office, and they were like, hey, this guy seems to be the one we could probably work with out of all these lunatics. Didn't really work out. Harry Styles looking different. Who's that? Who's Harry Styles? Do you know why Twitter exists? Because I don't. I don't know why Twitter exists. It's the weirdest thing. Oh, look, it's Patrick Bateman. Who's that? I don't know who's Patrick Bateman. The name somehow vaguely sounds familiar, but I don't know. I don't know who that is. I'm hoping you can tell me, Patrick Bateman. Who's Harry Styles? Who's Patrick Bateman? His name sounds so familiar. Harry Styles was some kind of Disney star, wasn't he? I don't know. I think I'm getting confused between the Jonas Brothers and someone else. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm right. Harry Styles is a singer, I don't know. Okay. Me neither. That One Direction guy. Oh snap! I still don't know who that is. I know One Direction. Harry Styles is not the main singer of One Direction, is he? Because that doesn't sound right. Who knows? Is One Direction still a thing? Or are they now in Two Direction? My sister is a fan of that shit. Okay. My sister is a fan, or was a fan, of the whole K-pop movement thing. I don't know if she still is. I haven't listened to her music in a while. I don't know what she's listening to these days. She's always sitting privately with her earphones in. She's not sharing the frequency. Not like I've seen her in months. I've only chatted to her on stream. Not in my stream, on her stream. This is her, by the way, that I'm busy drawing. My sister, Yellow Daisy. You can find her on Twitch. She runs her own channel, and she also runs the Unconventional Couple channel. Basically, for now. I guess Unconventional Couples channel takes turns with management, different managers. Have you heard of Twitch? It's killing me. I gotta know who's Patrick Bateman. Patrick is a narcissistic character in the movie American Psycho. Okay, I watched that movie a long time ago. Patrick Bateman. And it's one of the best movies ever. I didn't find it to be that particularly mind-blowing. It was a good movie, but it wasn't like anything spectacularly mind-blowing. I'm glad you thought it was, though. I'm glad it floated your boat. So what, are you a narcissistic serial killer? Psychotic? That guy was totally psycho. I get why they called it American Psycho. Because he was literally a fucking psycho. And literally he just got away with all of his psychotic madness. But yay, that narcissists be like that. I don't know if you've ever met one, but I have. I lived with one for a while. And literally, you get away with anything. Can hurt who he liked, when he liked, how he liked, even in the middle of fucking daylight. And just gaslight his way out of it. It was like jaw-dropping to watch. Yeah, kind of like that. Besides, you are poor. Shame. What's your kill count, buddy? Looks like something fell into my brazier. Smells like flesh, but it's probably hair. Yes. Stinks. You know what burning hair smells like. I don't know why I'm obsessed with myself 24/7, but yeah, that's the truth. No, I'm asking you what's your kill count, not asking you about your self-obsession. I'm not concerned about your self-obsession, to be perfectly honest. My room has 8 long mirrors. Nice. Don't the reflections ever climb out of the mirrors and fuck with you at night? Because that happens to me. Not regularly, not recently, but it has happened. Especially if I've just used that mirror, you know, for some kind of ceremony or witchcraft. Yeah. And I've also used mirrors as like a gateway when I'm astral projecting. I've also walked into someone's house through the mirror that's in their bedroom. And the whole house looks like it's a mirror image. Actually, I want to be surrounded by great people. That's why I kept 8 mirrors. Am I straight? Not the fuck am I straight? What is that? I'm very much bent. I'm like sitting down at the moment. How could I be straight when I'm sitting down? I'm very much bent in half. To answer your question, I'm in a monogamous relationship with a woman. But not every relationship has been monogamous, and not every relationship has been with a woman. So, does that answer your question? Can't tell if you're being sarcastic, but I'm just gonna go ahead and assume you're being sarcastic because that makes things more interesting. You are asexual, so you don't fuck people. Shame. I've spent periods in celibacy, like a year, 2 years, periods of celibacy, so I can only imagine what asexuality must look like and feel like. I think I've got an idea, you know, like 2 years. During that time I did consider if I was asexual, or if I wanted to stay asexual and celibate. But it sucks. It fucking sucks, man. Touch yourself while looking at you. Well, it kind of makes sense why you're in my stream then, you know. That's what my name is about, isn't it? If you know anything about names and language. The Karin is a version of yourself that exists on the other side of the mirror. And yeah, sometimes the Karin can trade places with you if the symbols of that are like if you're dreaming of fucking yourself, or if you're fantasizing about yourself, then that's when the Karin, you've caught your Karin's attention. It feels awesome and so good. Asexuality is the new masculinity. Okay, whatever floats your boat, bro. Whatever floats your boat. If being celibate is the definition of being a man, then I don't want to be a man. I'm not so keen on being celibate again. It was fun to fuck myself for a while, but it got boring. It got real boring real quickly. If only I could have come out of the mirror with that gorgeous dick. But I never did, eh? I stayed in the mirror. Do you have things like dressing up like clown or something villainous? No. I am always dressed like something villainous. I'm always dressed like a Shinigami. Shinigami means god of death, by the way. Kind of loose translation. The truth is that a Shinigami looks pretty normal through regular eyes. Yeah. It's only when you got special eyes that you can see them for what they really are. You can see their hideousness and their scariness. Otherwise they blend in, you know? They really blend in with the rest of humanity. And you do that shit. You dress up at midnight and enjoy that. Nice. So if a clown floats your boat, then by all means, you know, be the clown, fuck the clown. I don't find clowns attractive. Gods of death, though, I find to be very attractive. How long has it been going on, Patrick? Yeah, the Joker movie was fucking good. It was. Like, how long have you been indulging the demons? For lack of a better word. I don't fucking believe in demons. But for lack of a better word, let's call them demons. You know, that archetype that you see in the mirror. You know, when you dress yourself up, you're not you anymore. You're the villain. And so the villain, let's call the villain the demon for now. How long have you been fucking your demon? Is what I'm asking. You're 29. You wish they made him more dangerous. He was pretty dangerous though, you know, shooting people and whatnot. But also that was just the start. That's his origin. You know, that's where he comes from. He gets a lot more dangerous from there on out. I mean, that's what you get when people bullies you and makes fun of you. Nah. Most of the time when people bully other people, nothing happens. They get away with it. Most of the time. But you know, you're kind of avoiding my question though. You're like taking us on a tangent. I'm mostly interested to know how long you've been fucking your demons. But you have a choice, and if you're intelligent, you can hide spots in hell. Sure. Sure, you can. You know, just a word of advice though, you can never hide it from yourself. So, I don't know if you watch the Pirates of the Caribbean, but there's a line at the end there that's very relevant, and he's like, the trick is not living forever, Jackie, it's about living with yourself forever. You knew about your sexuality when you were 14. Okay, so you started fucking the villain in your head, in the mirror, since you were 14. Okay, sounds about right. And you're 29 now. Sounds about right. And this is just a wild guess, but there were periods of your life where you stopped, where you forgot about that, and then it came back. Like, I know that feeling. It's like here in the center, it's warm and it's very arousing. You know, when you come closer to, when you like get close to your shadow, when you get close to that villain in the mirror. But then there's periods where you forget about that and it like doesn't happen anymore. And then one day it comes back. One day you feel it again and you remember. And it's tempting and it's enticing. It sounds very familiar. You have many personalities every day. Okay. Why are you telling me though? Because I typically keep that shit to myself. I don't walk around talking about it. I don't walk around talking about the things that I'm paranoid about in my schizophrenic episodes. I don't unless the people are really close to me, like my partner, I'll say to her, hey, this is what I'm dealing with, or I'll say, hey, today I'm struggling, my bipolar is really kicking me in the ass. There, all of these things that like on a normal day wouldn't trigger me, but they're triggering me today, and it's like causing these big swings in my personality. And she'll get it, but like for the most part, I will keep that shit to myself. I will not go and talk about it with anybody. Nobody. Because you don't get bored looking at yourself and getting aroused. You don't. Okay, bored is not the word I'm looking for. Bored, I would have said satisfied, full. Not bored, full. Like you're satisfied, you've had enough of yourself, you feel good, you're gonna go sleep now, and then you forget about it for a little while. Not bored, but full. Satisfied. No? You never get satisfied? You are satisfied. Look at that, see? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about getting bored of yourself, I mean like getting satisfied. And then not needing to fuck for a little while. Forgetting about it. So for me that doesn't happen. I don't get satisfied. I get satisfied with myself. Like I've had enough of myself. I've had enough of my demon. Put it that way. I've had enough of my villain. My Shinigami, for lack of better words. But then I am craving someone else. Once I've had enough of myself and my gods and my demons, I'm looking for someone else and their gods and their demons. Does that happen to you? Does that sound familiar? Yeah, okay. Okay. I get you. Have I ever tried eating raw meat? Have I? I've eaten raw fish. Does that count? Like literally straight out of the water? Swallow it whole? Does that count? Worms? It's been a long time, bro. It's been a fucking long time since I indulged that level of antimony. Like way before I was 14. But yeah. The first time it's like, ugh, you want to gag immediately, you gotta like literally force yourself to swallow, but then the second time it's easier. So I just want to clarify that these are not natural impulses. Like I've learned, it's not natural impulses. To find that arousing, to find eating something raw arousing, it's not a natural impulse. It's very much related to the winter fae, the unsili, spirits of the dead, spirits of death. Winter's about death, the night, rot, death. All of those things, predatory birds and animals. It's like the spirit that rules the earth at night in winter. It's related to that. It's not naturally It's not part of man's natural function. It's a fairy thing. Yeah, someone might laugh at me for saying that, aha, you believe in fairies, but it's to do with fairies, and fairies aren't a joke. They aren't like fluttery, play in the park. Raw meat makes you look younger. I didn't know that. Once I ate a white rat barbecue in Japan. So if it was barbecued, that doesn't mean it's raw, right? Like barbecue means it's been cooked on a grill, on a flame grill, or at least smoked. It's not raw anymore. And I only bring up the Fae because they are hardcore, and if you can't play the game with them, if you can't play the game of death, they will swallow you whole. They will devour you. Like you've been developing a relationship with the Fae since you were 14. That much is obvious, as you've said in the chat. And you've managed this far, but there have been moments where you were like right on the edge, where you almost lost it all, where you almost ended up in an institution, where you almost ended up in jail. Am I wrong? So that's what I mean when I say they will devour you whole if you can't keep up with them. I almost lost my hand. Almost lost my right hand, bro. Whatever floats your boat, bro. If you think death is scared of you, cool. You can tell him that when he's about to devour you whole. See what he says. There you go. See, almost. Almost. Almost is the key word there, bro. Almost is the key word in that something has to shift. Something has to shift in the way that you perceive things and the stories you tell yourself in your mind, the way you understand your behaviors and the world, or otherwise almost is no longer almost. It is in fact death. I'm gonna link you a video that I think is pretty cool. You might like it, you might think it's pretentious, whatever. Just have a look. It's a little short film by some Canadian O's. Check it out, bro. You watched it already? Nice. I thought it was very touching. The whole series, thought it was fucking brilliant. And the way they did it, the cinematography, everything about it, I thought was fucking brilliant. I'll be right back. Literally a few seconds. Bear with me. Okay, I'm back. I think I have so much energy and I can defeat anyone just by staring at them. Lol. Welcome back, Naylath. Welcome and thank you for joining my stream. So good to see you. Yeah. I enjoy your streams and your channel. In fact, you're the only gamer that I follow. I follow a lot of artists, but you're the only gamer that I watch. So glad you're checking us out. Why you? Because you played Morrowind. Lol, that's why. Because you played Morrowind and some other old school games, and that's why. I guess I have to play some oldies again. I'll definitely drop in and watch when you do. Don't know what I'm doing. I've already finished with the hair. I'm happy with the hair. Leave the hair alone, bro. Leave the hair alone. Focus on the face. So this is a portrait of Yellow Daisy. She's also a streamer. You can find her under that handle, Yellow Daisy, spelled like in the title. She also hosts many streams on the channel Unconventional Couple. It's unconventional_couple. A bit of a bigger channel than her personal channel. Quite a bit bigger. She's also my sister. Just FYI. Hey Jimmy Jim. Jemima Jimbe. You want to say hi? Come say hi. Come say hi. Come say hi. Closer. You gotta come close enough for me to pick you up, bro. I can't reach you there.